I don't usually post on these kinds of boards. Hell, I barely check email. But something happened 2 nights ago that I can't explain, and I need to write it down before I lose my nerve. Or my mind. Call me Mitch. Been an OTR driver for 17 years. Mostly run the I-80 corridor from New Jersey to Cali. I've seen just about everything out there. Ice storms, flipped semis, tweakers trying to hijack trailers. One time I hit a moose and thought I died from the smell alone. But this was different. I was hauling a load of industrial filters out of Cheyenne, heading west to Sacramento. Usual deal, nothing time-sensitive. Just me, my Peterbilt, and 800 miles of blacktop. Around 1 a.m., I crossed into Nevada. No traffic, moon was a sick little sliver, and my CB radio started hissing. Nothing unusual there. Skip waves bounce weird that late at night. Sometimes you catch Mexican truckers chattering, sometimes just noise. But this wasn't chatter. This was a voice. Clear, calm, and wrong.
Unit 7, eastbound. We see you. Reduce speed. At first, I thought it was for someone else. Maybe a way station screwing around. But then it said, red cab, Wyoming plates. We see you. That's me. That's my rig. I sat up straight in the seat and scanned both mirrors. No headlights behind me. Nothing in front of me. Just desert and that endless dark ribbon of road. I picked up my CB mic. Who is this? You trying to be funny? Silence. Then the radio crackled again. Different voice this time. Raspy, like sand scraping metal. We're not on the map. The radio cut out completely. Dead air. I switched channels, tried my phone, no bars. Okay, whatever. I've driven past plenty of dead zones. 10 minutes later, my GPS blipped. It froze on a screen that said, off route, recalculating. Except I hadn't turned. Still on I-80, still westbound. Then, the headlights went out.
All at once. Dash lights, cabin glow, radio, GPS, even my phone screen. Like something sucked the juice out of everything electrical. I was coasting in a 65,000-pound blackout barrel. I eased onto the shoulder, hard jackhammering. Flipped the switch for my emergency lights. Nothing. Total silence. Even the desert felt like it was holding its breath. I climbed out with my flashlight, thinking maybe the battery had shorted or the alternator belt snapped. But when I popped the hood, there was no engine. I swear to you, my engine block was gone. Not melted, not torn out, just missing. Clean space where it should be, like someone clicked delete on it. And that's when I saw the lights. Not headlights, not drones. These were orbs, maybe the size of basketballs, floating about 10 feet off the ground out past the ditch. Pale blue, barely glowing, but enough to light the sagebrush beneath them. They drifted like they were sniffing the air. Then one of them turned, faced me, and moved. Fast.
I backed up, slipped in the gravel, dropped my flashlight. By the time I looked up, that orb had stopped about 10 feet away, just hovering. It made this sound, low, bassy, like when you press your ear to a big subwoofer. I started praying, out loud. Words just tumbled out, stuff I hadn't said since I was 12 in Sunday school. The orb pulsed once, like it was listening. Then it zipped away. I stood there, panting in the dark, flashlight beam shaking. For a few seconds, I thought maybe that was it. Maybe I'd get back in the cab, call dispatch, pretend this never happened. But then I heard the footsteps, coming from the other side of the trailer. Not boots, not shoes. Bare feet slapping the asphalt. Slow, deliberate. I called out, "Hey, you all right?" No answer.
I edged around the trailer with the flashlight raised. The beam caught something. A figure. Human-sized. Maybe taller. But wrong. Its limbs were too long, like they'd been stretched. Its skin was this dull gray, almost like wet paper. No clothes, no hair, no eyes, just smooth skin where the eyes should be. And it was smiling, ear to ear, too wide, way too wide. Then it copied my voice. "Hey, you all right?" It said it back to me. Same tone, same rhythm, like a parrot with a grudge. I ran. I don't even remember making the decision. I just turned and sprinted down the highway. My legs didn't feel real, like I was dreaming. I could hear it behind me, bare feet slapping faster now, matching my pace. Then a horn blared. Headlights. A truck. I flailed my arms like a lunatic. The rig skidded to a halt maybe 20 yards ahead. Driver jumped out, shouted something. I collapsed at his feet, babbling nonsense. When I looked back, the thing was gone. We went to where I left my truck. It was there, but now the engine was back, fully intact. Lights worked, GPS was fine. Only thing out of place? A single bare footprint on the driver's side door, pressed into the metal like a fossil, really long, with 4 toes.
I don't know what I saw. Government experiment? Alien? Some ancient desert predator? All I know is I haven't driven west since. I stick to the East Coast now. Cities, people, light. And every now and then, late at night, I flip on the CB just to listen. Sometimes I still hear it. "We see you, Mitch."
I'm not a superstitious guy, never was. When I started driving rigs 2 years ago, all those CB legends about black-eyed kids, ghost convoys, shadow things in the mirrors, I figured it was just bored old-timers trying to mess with rookies. Now, I keep a crucifix zip-tied to my dash. I won't drive through Utah at night, and I'll never stop near mile marker 232 again. Not for anyone. Not for anything. Let me back up. This happened 6 months ago. I was running solo from Denver to Vegas, hauling refrigerated produce. My company likes to push new guys through the back roads. They say it builds road character. Translation, take the weird empty routes no one else wants. It was around 10 p.m. when the rain hit. Hard, like God upended a bucket over the canyons. My wipers were barely keeping up, and I was white-knuckling the wheel, scanning for flooded dips. I passed through a little nothing town. No name, just a boarded-up gas station and a church with no cross. That's when I saw him, standing on the shoulder, soaking wet, thumb out, wearing a beige jacket, jeans, no hat, no backpack, just standing there. No other vehicles around for miles. No signs of a breakdown. Just him in the rain. I don't know what made me stop. I think I was just tired of the silence. Tired of feeling like the only human left in that part of the state. I pulled over and rolled down the window a crack. "You okay, man? Where you headed?" He didn't answer. Just looked at me. His face was blank, like a bad passport photo. I almost drove off, but then it climbed up into the cab without a word. Sat down, buckled in. I was too stunned to say anything. I pulled back onto the road, figuring maybe he was deaf or shell-shocked or something. I tried small talk. "You from around here?" Nothing. "You walking long?" Silence. Not even a nod. I gave up and just drove. 10 miles in, I noticed he wasn't wet. I mean, his jacket had no water on it. His hair was dry, like he hadn't just been standing in a goddamn monsoon. Then I noticed something worse. He wasn't blinking. I glance over every few minutes, trying not to be obvious, and his eyes just stared, straight ahead, unmoving, unblinking. Not like a weirdo on drugs, more like a mannequin they forgot to power down. I started to feel cold, like the heater was off. I reached down to check it and saw the temperature gauge spike into the red just for a second, then snap back to normal. I looked up, and he was smiling. Not big, just a little curl at the corners of his mouth, like he'd won something. I gripped the wheel tighter. "You need me to drop you somewhere specific, buddy?" He finally moved, slowly, turned his head toward me, and said, "Behind us." Just that, in a voice that sounded like it came from underwater. I checked the mirrors. Nothing. Then, headlights, way back. A single pair, no big deal, plenty of night drivers out here. But they were coming fast, real fast. I tapped the brakes. The lights didn't slow down. I pulled onto the shoulder to let them pass. They didn't pass. They pulled up behind me, maybe 10 feet back, blind and bright. Then the lights cut out. Just darkness. I waited. Nothing happened. I looked at my hitchhiker. He was staring into the mirror, his smile wider now. I got out of the cab. Stupid, I know, but something in me needed to see what was behind us. I walked back. There was no vehicle, no tire tracks, no engine noise, just wet gravel and mist. And in that fog, standing right in the middle of the road, was him. Same beige jacket, same jeans, same blank expression, except this one wasn't standing still. It was walking toward me, but not right, not human. It didn't bob or swing its arms. It just glided, like someone dragging a cardboard cutout through the fog. Smooth, unnatural. I ran back to the truck, slammed the door, threw it into gear. My passenger didn't move, just whispered, "Too late." I floored it. We hit 40, 60, 75. I didn't care. I just wanted to put distance between us and that thing. And that's when I saw it again, out the side window, running next to us at 70 miles per hour. Its face pressed to the glass, upside down, like it had crawled sideways along the trailer, grinning. The lights inside the cab flickered. My GPS went up haywire. The air smelled like copper and burning plastic. I screamed, literally screamed, like a damn child. Then the truck died. Not stalled, not slowed, died. I coasted to a stop near a turnout, praying, hands shaking. The cab was pitch black. I turned to the passenger seat. Empty. No door open, no sound, just gone. I sat there for maybe 20 minutes, shivering, trying not to puke. Eventually, the truck started back up. Lights came on, GPS rebooted. I drove the rest of the way to Vegas without stopping. Parked at a Love's, went into the bathroom and cried in the stall like a coward. I've seen a lot of weird stuff online, read the UFO reports, the pale crawler stories, all that Reddit junk, but nothing prepared me for what I saw near mile marker 232. The company asked me why the reefer load was late. I told them the storm slowed me down. They docked my pay, but I didn't care, because that wasn't the man I picked up, and whatever the hell followed us, it's still out there.